Well, this ladder, this is the light, this is a hallway ladder. It's a little safer, and like the other ladder, it's not properly secured. Okay, not properly fastened. Like the other attic, this is a space age crystal radiant paint. So every bad thing I said about that paint, I'm just going to repeat it, and you will get some benefit from it. I just want to emphasize that. I wouldn't pay extra for something. It's not what it's advertised to be. Okay? Our water heater's up here. Our furnace indoor air handler is up here. We've got fiberglass batt insulation on the knee walls. We've got loose fill fiberglass, and it's looking like we got 2 layers of insulation. I would probably do it that way. It's not the way I recommend. I'm a hypocrite. When you have 2 layers of insulation, you have no idea, because all the minerals that was in the original insulation and everything that packed it down and all the problems with the original insulation is still there. And you just sprinkle some, nice fresh white insulation up here. That doesn't necessarily make it better, so it's really kind of hard to figure out. You got 2 types of insulation, and if you want to sit here and calculate, R factors and stuff, you just really can't. You know what I saw in the garage, and you didn't need them, but you need them here, and I'm not seeing them, is I don't see any soffit baffles. Any soffit baffles for ventilation. Moving a little farther over in here. That's called a rain bucket. Oh, there's soffit baffles right here. Not seeing enough soffit baffles. And look right there. See that piping right there? That's the bathroom vent. It's just venting into the attic. At one time, it vented into the soffit. They added the extra insulation, and they did the radiant paint, and they did the soffit baffles as part of the upgrade. And when they did the upgrade, they had to take the bathroom vent fans out from there. So everybody, and they didn't belong in there in the first place, so they didn't hurt anything by doing that. But those soffit baffles are probably, you know what, the installation is suspect. I mean, they're selling this paint and they're just sprinkling insulation over the top, and we're not seeing any insulation depth markers. So I'm just kind of suspect of that. I'm sorry. I'm a suspicious man. Alright, so we're coming along here. We're kind of checking out our framing. Obviously, we got some new framing over here. Probably had a roof. We got some sisters over here. Look at that. Alright, they didn't paint those silver. It was probably left over from the rain bucket. I don't know if that rain bucket is, still operable. Or has been decommissioned. This tells a story. Well, coming on up here, and we're looking. And of course, the house was built a few years ago, so see this board right here? This is called a stiffener, right? Any beam that's longer than 6 feet should have a stiffener on it. So we got some stiffeners. But our purlin struts are undersized, which is typical. Our purlin struts are undersized, and they do not have stiffeners on them. They should be the same width as the purlins, and they're not. And they don't have stiffeners on them. We got all this insulation up here. But by the way, I went around, and as unimpressed as I am with the insulation and the ventilation and the paint, as unimpressed as I am with the insulation, I also have to say that I went around, I toured the interior ceiling with a thermal camera, an infrared imaging camera, and I didn't, except for the ladder that's not insulated, I didn't really see any, hot spots or wet spots for that matter. Drop here. Hot spots or wet spots. I didn't see any of that stuff. So, it's equally, this insulation is equal or equally good or equally crappy or equal whatever, but the insulation is relatively consistent around the living envelope. So I can say that. And another thing I can say is, because I was in the other attic, remember? I saved that one for first, and I was saying, well, collar ties. Well, it was a short run, a relatively short run. Come over here, I think we should have had a collar tie or two over here. It's supposed to be every third rafter. Every third rafter is like the rule of thumb. And then you get up around here and you can't really do a collar tie, you know. But see, we've got these collar ties. You got every rafter up here. That was a good idea. I mean, you can't have too many, you know. But then you get over here and, you know, two, and you missed one right there, so it's every third. So we got collar ties here and collar ties here. But we do not have collar ties here. And we did not have them over the garage. I don't really think we should have. So what did we learn? The insulation is blah. We learned that we don't, I'm not seeing any, you know what, all these, besides the ones that are in the garage, you know, I've only seen 2 soffit baffles. So we don't have enough or as many soffit baffles. The insulation is questionable. We do not have depth markers. We're missing some collar ties. You know, and as much as I'm up here complaining and moaning, you know, well, here's one for us. This guy's bowed right here. You see that bow? He could use a stiffener. He sure could. And then, okay, on our collar ties, since we have them, all right, you see this one's got 3 nails? That's a triangulation. See over here, that's 2 nails. That's a hinge. Anytime you fasten things together, 2 nails, it can hinge. If you've got 3 nails, they're pushing against each other. It's simple geometry. You actually have 3 nails on that one, 2 nails on most of these. Okay, that allows it to sway. How many nails is on that one? I can't tell, it's so boogered up. Can't tell. Well, tell us a story. How many nails are on you? 2. Most of these only have 2 nails on them. I think only 1 or 2 of them have 3 nails. So our collar ties aren't properly fastened either.